Greetings and welcome to my dear Virgo. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. I welcome you to my channel. I do relish this possibility to really become mutable, okay, and to open the doorways into the sea of information for the energy of Virgo. The secret that has to do with methodological practice, with the sixth house, the sixth door, the sixth gate. This has to do with the gateway into the other, through understanding in a mutable way, in a very flexible way, the complexities of thought, the complexities of reality, and also understanding through the fabric of Neptune, through the fabric of Maya, some of the very deeper aspects that you might find through others. Virgo is extremely spiritual in that it is the gateway to essentially finding material ways to express in fine detail the mysterious nature of the opposite. Okay? My name is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Welcome back, or if you're new, please subscribe and like if you will. Please take only what you will. This shall not resonate for everyone. However, I am very appreciative of your patience. Okay? If you dislike, please do, and do so with honesty. I do appreciate that as well. So, welcome. The singularity reading is essentially what we'll be focusing on today. Singularity has to do with a nexus that happens within time and space. It can be repetitive in terms of its cycle. It could be a cycle, a karma, that emerges out of the ether of time and space. The bending of such can be quite skewed, so it's very flexible, this reading. Please take only what you will, and note that these are essentially timeless and spaceless in a way. They don't have to be enslaved to the nexus of that. However, we'll go ahead and begin. The singularity shall emerge through the sixth house. This is for the energy of Virgo in the mid-month of 2020. I do appreciate. Mid-late month, by the way. This is a bit late of a reading, I'm sorry. And welcome. Okay, there's a lot of activity within the cards. A mode of action here. Ooh. So, this has to do with truth or mistruth. Trying to understand a block in communication, something from the past trying to emerge as a form of truth, something unsaid, undone here as well. You may feel undone from the element of not finding that closure, perhaps being cut out the wrong time out of a situation that felt like the crown of creation at one point, the great bridge into your understanding of your own truth when it comes to deeper spiritual aspects that have to do with dematerialization or walking the path of loneliness, walking the path of commitment to what feels like the lack of God, or possibly the ability to become a master in some sort of way through the energy of the third house, trying to understand that some people are blocked when it comes to their way of getting out of certain modes of psychological behavior, okay? When the ace pulls from the 8, we have the 7 of swords. Also, Aquarian energy is highly here. Another path here that has to do with Gemini to Aquarius. And that's the riddle, okay, of the magician. The magician is well known for being the Houdini of the Arcana, someone who can get out of certain situations by appearing in different places at different times, dealing with multiplicity, finding ways to magically make a mystery out of, and mystery and mischief out of certain things, pulling that Houdini, really breaking out of certain prisons of the mind. This also could be you in terms of that energy, or possibly you could be dealing with a Gemini, or possibly someone who has been very stagnant in terms of the triplicity of air, not being able to express what they mean, or perhaps something of the past version of yourself that is trying to bring in a sense of truth, but you seem to be trying to break out of something big time, okay, some sort of commitment. Now, the singularity now emerges. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. This is immediately quite striking. There is an impending doom of some sort of latent information. Okay. By impending doom, I don't mean it that heavy. I mean, that's just a cliche way of saying that something is about to happen in which the energy of the sun or Mars or Uranus is going to shift the very foundations of how you see the world around you or how the world is operating around you. There's something about the fall or the disintegration of certain things that have to do with things that have already transformed or have been set aside. There's something about the very foundation of some of the world around you that is being come into question. Some things that have been changed or already buried in the ground of the past, maybe trying to reanimate itself in some sort of way, okay? Um, this is making you a type of student, but beyond that, it's making you someone who is very poised towards really making fundamental changes. Your vehicle is ready, but there's a slow methodology to your vehicle. There's something regressed about you. I don't mean that in a negative way. There's something more poised or concerned with the slow approach to understanding how you walk this path. Okay, walk this path of transformation. Walk this path also of a certain calling. Very intense in terms of the karma of this. Okay, very intense because there's a motivation here that is and please don't take this the wrong way, but there's a feeling of isolation or feeling of loneliness that may be affecting you that has to do with abandonment, key abandonment issues that are sort of muddy for you. It's really muddy and it's really hard for you to get out of this sludge of emotional regret in some sort of way. A lot of past nostalgic memories may be resurfacing. You're trying to understand how you feel happy now or how you feel practically appreciated in some sort of way, okay? The energy of Taurus is strong here, so there's like a sort of regression in terms of the triplicity of Earth. You're up after Taurus, and then after that is Capricorn in the 10th house. Um, there's a possibility that you can be moving towards that energy, okay, towards solving the mystery of the triplicity and having a new beginning by foundationally creating for yourself a shield, an aegis, if you will, in which you can protect yourself from future circumstances, where you can find your resources and you can pull from this sort of energy of negotiating between perhaps a jailbreak or getting out of a certain mode or karma in your brain that has been sort of spinning for a while, tipping that out and like really reconstructing in a way to move forward. But as you do this, there is a sort of gamble, or there is a feeling of separation from someone else, or separation from your core beliefs, or perhaps a feeling once again that God has somewhat like abandoned you. Okay, um, never fear though. I mean, once again, the energy of Capricorn is your savior. Okay, also the energy of Taurus. There are ways and methods of really embracing more material aspects that have to do with externalized versions of holding on to things that you can externalize, okay? Here, as opposed to drifting off into the realm of Neptune, which you tend to do when it comes to especially romance, okay? There's an element here of regret, as well as regret in love, or regret as opposed to happiness, and the idea of spilled cuppage, as they say. Um, don't quote me on that. Right. So when it comes to the deeper subconscious or unconscious aspects, wow, finally death emerges. I saw this energy of Mars as well as Uranus and the Sun. Also the energy of Sagittarius or Aquarius here. Okay, the ability to find a sense of calling after great calamity, after the collapse of, say, cultural circumstances around you that are very materially sort of being detailed in some sort of way. Okay, there's a possibility here that there is a way for you to walk out, to perhaps become a master of your thoughts as well, become a master or skillful entrepreneur in some sort of way, to really go out and to take that gamble and to really sort of find in the ether, in the mystery of it all, a way to really ground and situate yourself on structures or places of fortification, ways to really ground yourself and to hold your resources, to become a master in some sort of way, to make your own plan, okay? To wonder about that and to really riddle about a very fixed but also cardinal energy of pushing forward, in a very slow and very externalized way. What I'm seeing here is something that has that's really affecting you on the subconscious realm, something that of the past. Okay, something that has died and regenerated. This energy is transforming. That is what is going on here. It's a period of transformation for you, especially with the fives here, Five of Cups as well as Five of Pentacles. Okay, the idea is to step back in a certain way, to not be so fixed on really pushing forward. That's what the cards are saying, at least for now, because there's something from the past that still needs to, for you, an experience from the past that still needs some weeping and some reaping to really understand why things from the past, especially modes of communication, things that may have been challenging in terms of your own intuitive understanding of some of the things that you have brought into reality, or perhaps those that have been brought to you through others. The seven is strong here, seven. So we go from the eight to the seven here. Subconscious understanding of the tension that has been revolving around what, trying to give and take with various projects that you may have been having, various relationships, understanding which one to give to, and how you, in a way, were possibly on a very unconscious level playing a type of savior for very needy parties, for people who are trying to siphon from your energy or your resources in some sort of way. These are built around promises and broken promises and like memories of the past. Okay. Now, what is coming to be in terms of your key manifestation, what you're putting into mind, possibly, has to do with the partition, the boundaries that are being made with a changing world, the boundaries that are being made with the element of nurture when it comes to how you pull from energetic resources or water from the earth. There's a very fixed nature here that you want to break in some sort of way to come into your more mutable energy. Okay, embrace the energy of the fifth house. That is the house that has ended your cycle. That is pleasure. Okay, pleasure as well as children. Excuse me, children are going to help you if you do find them to be the father of man in some sort of way. The untainted wisdom of children is quite pure here. But because of the elevation and the sort of proclivities of knowledge-based systems and becoming very masterful in some sort of way, in a mutable way, there is a flexibility here to you that um, that can be quite good in terms of how you really make peace with the past or make peace with modes of the way paradigms have been, or the way your own paradigms have been, in terms of the shift that comes when it pertains to you or your inner child understanding others who are very fixed in nature. There's a flexibility here that is emerging through a fixed decision to really make partition with the past. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. It doesn't have to be. 2021 might be a good year for you, in that you will find ways to either reinvest or see visions or to find new paradigms. That is what I'm seeing. But when it comes to the singularity, once again, this is centripetal. When it comes to it, the force is revolving around the Five of Cups energy. Okay, people give this the label of being the card of depression, the card of inebriation, the card of Neptune, the card of Scorpio as well, deep intensified feelings of pain and understanding through pain, the pleasure of love, You know, that's also a possibility. Seeing different projects and seeing how many have failed, and failing to see also the possible sort of smaller sort of off projects that might be very fulfilling for you, especially friends or people who are willing to support you in some sort of way. Two of Cups strong. But it's around that energy of five. Okay, five is a riddle, it's a tension point, it's also a place of pleasure if you can really find the fun in it all. Okay, and that's what the cards are telling me. There are ways to really set against, to embracing a fun nature and to really set fun boundaries against modes of outdated paradigms or outdated ways of thinking that have been begging for change. Okay, and this, in a sense, is your new beginning. It's still a mystery to you why this isn't coming into be, that power structure, you know, that place of fortification, you becoming a designer of your world, designer of your reality, designer of your relationships. There is a curative aspect to Virgo here that I find endearing. And there also is a possibility of a new and hidden sun trying to find a way to the axis, to the axis mundi, and to the horizon, where the sun, the sky, and the earth meet, in which you can find an idealized vision of love. All right. The challenge, of course, is to embrace through a Shiva type way, the disintegration, the, the digestion of things that may have made you feel ill at some point in terms of intestinal disputes, how your inner fire combusts and consumes information or consumes materiality in some sort of way, or emotional content. It's important for you to really find a purification process, okay? And also to give it enough sediment so that it doesn't become toxic for your spiritual body, okay? That is what I'm seeing. One more thing in terms of challenges. We have here the Wheel of Fortune to the energy of Cancer, to Jupiter exaltation. There is a possibility that there have been too many shifts in terms of Saturn trying to find the fortune within it all. This is more having to do with that paradigm and it shifting into the energy of the dance between Jupiter and Saturn here. Very strong. So this period is not so good for you in terms of limitation. Limitation especially on things that are supposed to be optimistic in nature, limitation of your own optimism. Please bode well and know that this period shall shift and this too shall pass. You will be fine. There is a hidden beginning, a hidden sun that shall emerge for you, and I do wish you well in terms of this. Please take care. Goodbye.